When people think of Sydney, one of the first things that comes to mind is this place, Bondi Beach. It's a lot of things to a lot of people. To me, Bondi was my first home after moving from Melbourne over 10 years ago. Where as a chef, I opened my first Sydney restaurant. Where I met Astrid, and it's where we had our first child, Chili. And it's where I first met a bloke called Udo, also known as Astrid's brother. Bondi is also where one day, over a few beers, we made a deal. I'd teach Uds how to cook, and he'd teach me how to fish. Sometimes I just wonder how smart a deal that really was.
Uds, hold these, mate. It's getting a bit rough, mate. That's why we've got to hurry, mate. It's getting really rough. It's pretty efficient, my boat. Mate, you're like quick draw McGraw. So I've got a brekkie dish that I think you might even love. Breakfast? You don't eat fish for breakfast. Mate, we are today. Oh, it's un-Australian. Slow down.
Me and my sister were born in Bondi. When I was growing up, this was my backyard. The closest thing I ever had to a footy was a lobster pot, and when I asked my dad for a cricket bat, he got me a fishing rod. I could swim before I could talk, and fish before I could walk. Bondi is my home, my playground, and my personal fish market.
What we're doing here is dropping the anchor. Now, to put an anchor down, it's not a simple matter of just dropping it straight down because it doesn't grab the bottom. My anchor's about 150 metres in that direction, and we've been reversing the engine, letting more rope out as we go, until we get on my mark, which is not far from here. We're fishing on one of my favourite marks, which is basically on the edge of a reef where the sand hits the reef. Now, that's where the congregation of most fish hang out.
Now, it's this bait that we're using. What are they like?
Well, they're very fresh prawns. And it's so rough that we're going to have a good chance of getting a good feed of table-sized fish, which is what we're after here. And we're in close, it's rough, it's good conditions. Anyone else will be too crazy to come out here.
There's no one else out.
There's no one else out. Do you know what I really hate about fishing? When you work 6 days a week, you cannot pick the weather on your day off. I'm getting a hit, Pete.
Yeah?
I'm getting a hit.
Now, they use GPS for this nowadays, don't they?
Oh, most people do. They use GPSs, which is a system that tells you exactly where you are from the satellites. But, whoa!
There we
I
go.
like to use my own instinct and landmarks, like off a set of trees, a rock on a point, whatever it might be. Wow! Look at the action of that rod! Beautiful. A lot of the other guys come out here and put big chunks of lead on, and they come down like a bomb out of the sky, and every fish within 2 kui goes in the opposite directions. But we're letting floating baits go down really slowly. And this is where you'll get the proper fish that we're after. Let's have a look what we've got here. Oh, look at that.
Look at that, mate.
But what this does indicate to me is we're right on the sand, but this is probably one of the best table fish around.
Mate, that's beautiful.
A flounder. And I'm looking forward to eating a bit of that maybe, Pete.
When I arrived in Sydney 12 years ago, one of my first amazing dining experiences was at Tetsuyu's. Now, it's no secret that he knows what to do with fish in the kitchen, but what most people don't know is that he is also a mad fisherman. So Tetsuya, tell me about your love of fishing.
Well, I'm not actually... I don't think I'm a good fisherman, but first of all, I love water. I love boats. I just sit there, okay, catching a fish, that's a bonus.
So here's the deal. Whoever catches the most fish cooks lunch, which makes this the one time I hope I don't get any bites. What we're doing is unsuccessfully trying to open this stupid box, which has got worms in it. Live worms, actually.
There you go, mate.
Oh, thanks. And here we're likely to catch just about anything. Live worms are your classic bait. You feed half the worm onto your hook, leaving the other half dangling, and this will attract the fish. If you haven't caught anything within, say, 5 minutes, it's a good idea to check your bait. Chances are it's gone or it's dead.
Oh, it's
Hang on, flathead!
Woo!
Oh! Don't muck around. Straight up, straight up. Beauty, Pete!
Beauty.
I think I got a little snapper here. A brim or something.
Brim.
Oh, look at that. That's a keeper.
Better size. Good one.
Can't catch a snapper anywhere.
Well,
But we
that's
catch
trade
one.
size.
You want to see a trick, mate?
So, Peter, what is your favorite fish to eat yourself?
It has to be flathead, simple, full of flavour. It's beautiful.
Whoa, he's on. That's a flatty.
Yeah, right.
What? Lift it straight up to me.
All right, okay.
Lift it up, I'll get it off the hook for you, mate.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
It's bigger than your last one, Ted, so I'm quite impressed. Oh, you got another flathead,
Oh,
Pete.
brother.
Bring it straight up the boat.
What's your line?
Straight in the boat. Oh, oh that's enough
Yeah,
for
good
lunch
sight.
now.
And guess who won? And you know what? I can't wait to celebrate.
Come this way.
It's going excellent, I hear.
Thank you. Yes, going well, very well.
So where are we going now? I thought the
We're going
kitchen was
to-
downstairs.
Yes, we're going to my one of test kitchen,
The test kitchen, is that where you come up with your new recipes?
sort of.
You going to do something for us now?
Yes.
Fantastic.
This way.
Now, we've caught this beautiful flathead today. What magic are you going to do with it?
I don't know whether this is a magic or not, but gonna get thinly sliced flathead.
Enough of the chit-chat. Time to get the catch of the day. Now, the fish I really want to cook today is kingfish. So we're heading out just past the heads to the deeper and slightly rougher waters of the Tasman Sea, which is the gateway to the cooler waters between Australia and New Zealand, where Udo reckons there is a kingdom of kingies there for the catching.
Where did you see those birds working, Pete?
Oh, there, mate.
Are they working or are they just hovering?
No, they're working.
Just keep an eye on that depth sounder, mate. As soon as you see any columns, let me know.
Okay.
Pete, we had to come out here, and I know it's a bit rougher, but when the going gets tough, the tough get going, and it's getting tougher out here.
Is this one of your favourites or first time?
This is one of my favourite spots, but also we can't go out too far because it's quite rough out there, you know?
Mate, this is a bit rougher than what I'm used to back on the canals of the Gold Coast. With a bit of bread on the line for those little brim, mate.
I heard there's quite a few big sharks in the Gold Coast canals.
So what does it take to be a great fisherman?
A bit of time, a bit of tiny bit of money. You can really do it cheap. When we grew up, we did it on a shoestring budget. We'd catch all our own bait, find our own sinkers. Sinkers act like gold in a river. They all get drifted into one area, so you can go and find your little local spots, and all we'd have to buy is hooks. Half the time we'd find a bit of line, floats we'd find swimming around the ocean.
None of this stuff then?
None of this gear, mate. This is a borrowed boat. And isn't she a beauty?
You didn't mention patience before when it takes to be a great fisherman.
Well, I'm a bit different than most people, not just the spelling of my name. I think people who got patience catch no fish because they've got far too much time to sit there and stare at the sky and the beautiful environment around them. And believe me, you don't need patience to catch fish. You've got to hunt around until you catch one, and that's what we're doing today. And hopefully I'll prove it too.
So tell me a bit about the kingfish shoots.
Kingfish are great finding fish, and in fact, only recently they've stopped commercially trapping the fish, which really put a dent in their population. And now that they've stopped that, they're really, really making a big comeback.
Mate, they're a beautiful fish to eat.
Pete, can you pull that up and just make sure we've still got a yellow tail on?
Yep.
He's fine. Pete, you feeling all right? You've got to have a bit of a good stomach to get out here on a day like this.
If I haven't been sick yet, what does that mean?
It means you're pretty good, mate. That's it, Pete.
Kingy, do you reckon?
Hey?
Shaking its head.
Mate, I reckon it's a kingy. That's what we're after.
There we go, look at that. See some colour?
There we go. We've got a kingfish. You take that net and start operating on that. I'll just measure him up. Just on 60, Pete, you're laughing.
Beautiful.
I might just wrap him right and put him on ice. Yeah, we'll catch a few, but we're only going to keep one or two, because I think the best thing is do the right thing by the environment and the fish. Let's keep this population going and keep our fishery going for generations to come, because it's fun out here, isn't it?
Mate, it's unreal. That'll do a few of us.
That's perfect for us.
Kingfish is a great fighter to catch and an even better fish to eat. It's got nice, firm flesh and great fat content that you can either bake, grill, fry, sashimi, well, pretty much anything.
The one thing I'm going to teach you about seafood is not to overcook it. And the kingfish dish we're doing today is fantastic. We're actually going to do two dishes. One's a raw dish and one's a rare dish. We'll do the raw one first, a kingfish carpaccio. I know you've all had sashimi before, but this is better, I think. It's an Italian version, just raw fish marinated with lemon juice, olive oil, and a few flavourings. Now, the kingfish, like tuna and salmon, has a bloodline once you take the skin off it. It's pretty important you get rid of that because it tastes a little bit bitter. Leave that to the birds. Now all we're going to do is slice this paper thin, really sharp knife. When you see carpaccio in the Italian restaurants with the beef, what they actually do is freeze the beef down and then slice it on a slicer to get it that thin. I don't want to do that with the fish. I don't want to freeze the fish. I want to keep it as fresh as possible. So just slice it as thinly as you can. Doesn't matter if it's a little bit thick, because it just tastes beautiful too. The great thing about this kingfish, just has a great mouthfeel when you eat it, especially raw. Once you finish slicing, just pop it on your knife or a spatula and transfer it to your serving plate. Now that's the hard bit done. The easy bit is just to flavour it. Now with carpaccio, you always use some acid. So today, lemon juice, but you can use lime juice or even a little bit of vinegar. All it does is cure the fish and just makes it a little bit more palatable. Next ingredient, I've got some preserved lemon. It's nice and sweet, got a real distinctive flavour, just screams Italian. It's beautiful. Some capers, they just add a little bit of saltiness to the dish. I love them. I've got some baby basil here, but you could use any herb if you've got parsley, chervil, tarragon, and what really works really nice is some deep fried sage. Okay. Dress that with really good quality extra virgin olive oil. Don't use cheap stuff. Buy the best you can, especially on a dish like this where you're just trying to get the maximum flavour out of everything, okay? Some sea salt, very important. Just finished with some cracked pepper. Now that's probably one of the simplest dishes and it's great for this time of the year. What better thing could you eat than that?